Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, it's my pleasure to bring you an in-depth look at the 2007 Aston Martin DB9 Mansory. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the DB9 Mansory. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and go over the performance data, as well as show you a bunch of the unique aspects of the interior as well as exterior. And special thanks and shout out go out to Planet Imports of Charlotte, North Carolina for allowing me to come out and film this beautiful DB9. And so, without further ado, we're going to start her up, let her run. The exterior color is known as tungsten silver and features a full obsidian black leather interior. Six-speed manual gearbox. Then, once you put your foot on the clutch, the push-button ignition lights up red and you hit it to start. The DB9 features speed-sensitive rack and pinion power-assisted steering, very tight, precise, yet fluidic. Soft, supple, fine leather graces the entire steering wheel, with modest grip extensions off to the side here. There's also two different transmission options for the DB9, one being a standard 6-speed manual gearbox, also nice and smooth, reverse, all the way over and up, as well as a 6-speed automatic gearbox activated by a push-button system that would be on the dash, as well as paddle shifters mounted behind the steering wheel for manual shiftability. Beautiful design shifter, leather wrapped, traipsing into an aluminum shell. And so we're going to cut on the headlamps, as well as the fog lamps, and the hazards. Naturally, both the windows are fully automatic. And we're going to check out the exterior, shall we? The DB9 was first introduced in 2005 as both a 2+2 coupe and convertible known as the Volante, and compared to its predecessor, the DB7, it featured a wonderful blend of hand-built beauty, a new sophisticated chassis, as well as a sumptuous interior. The DB9 represented an all-new direction for Aston, not only subsequent models to come, but by bringing a unique exotic GT sports car that blended power, beauty, and soul. Mansory, on the other hand, a high-end automotive tuning group based in Germany, actually provides individualization for owners of a wide variety of exotic manufacturers. While everything is basically up for customization from the interior, exterior, down to the suspension and the like, this particular DB9 has quite the unique set of exterior modifications with new front and rear fascias as well as side skirts that integrate the use of carbon fiber splitters. The front displays a bold, horizontal polished grille with 5 rows to complement the factory 6 rows up top, also with an integrated set of daytime running lamps and fog lamps. Other than those few exterior modifications, the rest of this DB9 is pure Aston elegance, featuring a broad and expansive yet flowing front clip with integrated heat extract vents, amongst a raised bulge highlighting the center of the hood, finished off with bi-xenon headlamps. The The DB9's construction is composed of a combination of free-flowing aluminum and composite bodywork with a lightweight extruded aluminum bodied monocoque known as the VH or vertical horizontal platform. This platform, since its introduction, served as the basis for all of the Astons at the time as well as many in the following years. While Mansory DB9s come with their own sets of unique wheel options, some of which can be seen by clicking the Mansory brochure link that I found and put in the description below, this DB9 features a set of unique 22-inch Avis M02 aluminum alloy wheels with Pirelli P0 narrow tires. They measure 255/30 in the front and 285/25 in the rear. The brakes are ventilated and slotted Brembo units with 6-piston monoblock calipers in the front and 4-piston monoblock calipers in the rear, positioned towards the center of the vehicle for a more balanced effect, but it also has anti-lock brakes and that red color contrasting paint. Front and rear suspension components consist of double wishbone construction with coil-over aluminum-covered monotube dampeners with anti-roll bars. The suspension, body panels, and even the windshield support are all constructed of aluminum, while the door panels, inner door frames, steering column, and the paddle shifters for the automatic transmission-equipped cars are all composed of magnesium. And the pièce de résistance, so to speak, is that the majestic V12 and 6-speed transaxle are also composed of aluminum. They're placed just right in the vehicle to give a perfect 50-50 weight distribution, which is ideal for a well-composed Grand Tourer. And if that wasn't quite enough, you could spring for a new sports pack in 07, of which this particular example is equipped and brought extra rigidity. The standard composite underbody tray was replaced by a load-bearing aluminum panel, as well as stiffer springs, shock absorbers, anti-roll bars, and a little bit lower ride height. As we come across the rear of the DB9, the sculpted body really comes alive, meeting into a set of LED tail lamps and that unique Mansory treatment. You can see the unique rear fascia with carbon fiber rear splitter housing a unique dual Mansory exhaust system that really lets that V12 orchestra shine. And the Mansory package on the exterior is finished off nicely with just a modest rear deck lid spoiler with the script over on the left hand side. The DB9 has an overall length of 185.4 inches, with a height of 50 inches and a width of 73.8 inches. Total curb weight is just under 4,000 pounds at around 3,968. And so we're going to pop the hood. The DB9 is powered by a hand-built 5.9-liter dual overhead cam 48-valve V12, while it's actually branded as a 6-liter. It produces 449 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 420 foot-pounds of torque at 5,000 RPM. It's rear-wheel drive with a rear limited slip differential paired with the 4-wheel independent suspension that I touched on earlier. 0 to 60 times are an average of 4.7 seconds with a 13.1 second quarter mile and a top speed of around 186 miles per hour. With a 21.1 gallon fuel tank running on premium unleaded gas, the DB9 actually achieves a miles per gallon rating of around 11 city, 18 highway. In my opinion, Aston Martin definitely has some of the most well thought out and built stylish interiors as far as the luxury hypercar market goes. Everywhere you go, there's pretty much leather padding, aluminum trim coming across the door panel, as well as wood, bamboo, or black piano veneer. You'd be quite hard pressed to find any plastic piece in these vehicles. Now, these doors are interesting. They're signature to Aston and known as swan wing doors. They swing up and out to allow more room for easier entry and exit for the driver and passenger. And it just gives it an incredible look. And to highlight a couple aspects of the door, like I said, all of your padded soft grain leather trim coming up across the top, aluminum speaker grille, Traipsing into the bottom where you have a leather-lined storage compartment, aluminum door handles, as well as all of your power windows and power mirrors like you saw earlier, and a little padded armrest. You also have color contrast stitching going over key areas of the vehicle, and the Aston's interiors are pretty much as customizable as the exteriors with the different color options and things like that, so you can pretty much change the color of anything all the way down to the stitching. The seats feature 8-way power adjustments with power lumbar in the lower and upper portions of your back. Nicely contoured and heavily side bolstered for increased lateral grip and support. All of your power seat adjustments are located on the center console on each side for both seats. You have 3-person memory for both sides, the simple sliding, tilting, and recline, but down below here, you have your power lumbar for your lower back and upper back, as well as your high and low heated seat function. Also features side airbags, that beautiful color contrast stitching, as well as perforated trim coming down the center of the seat, definitely giving it that rich feel. You also have an aluminum and leather accented e-brake located off to the left of the seat. Aluminum entry guard with leather padding and a special plate indicating the DB9 hand-built in England. You also have unique aluminum sport pedals, manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, as well as also leather padding traipsing up the dash, going out across the vehicle. Nicely finished off with a full black Alcantara headliner. So we'll go ahead and see how this beast sounds. You gotta love the sound of that signature Aston V12. Absolutely legendary engine note. Beautifully solid door panels. Now, along with its premium audio system and in-dash CD player, the DB9 also comes standard with an LCD navigation interface that pops up out of the black piano veneer in the dash. And the navigation is all controlled by this little stack here, but I'll show that in just a second. Alcantara flows down to the A-pillars, and small yet really stylish visors. Cores made of aluminum, so they're nice and sturdy, also lined in Alcantara. Auto-dimming rear view mirror, your integrated garage home link located down below, and you also have some reading lamps here that are activated by these two buttons here. Overall, the radio interface is quite simple, something I really like. Aston Martins don't really have too much overly done technology. They're very traditional cars, and in some cases less is more, and especially with these types of vehicles. AM, FM, mute for your telephone. You also have hands-free Bluetooth telephone that's activated here. Now, this little wheel over here can be used for two things. One, the equalizer settings. If you just push it while in your main radio screen, you'll go through the different adjustments. But if you go to your system menu, you have your FM menu as well as car settings. You use this to control through the menu. You have all of your personalizable options, exit button, as well as the FM menu with some other miscellaneous options also. Cycle through your preset stations by these buttons here, as well as fast forwarding through songs or CD tracks via those two buttons. And like I said earlier, your reading lamps are located up top there. As we come down the center console, you notice the entire center console is laced in aluminum. Now, Aston's, like I said during the beginning of the interior portion, it's very hard to find any non-leather, aluminum, or wood veneer piece within the vehicle. There's very, very sparse use of any plastic used in these vehicles. Analog clock in the center, dial pad off to the left for your telephone, as well as your simple-to-use climate control located down below. You have your fan speed, different zones, front defrost, as well as temperature, and bespoke aluminum knobs. Climate control also shows up in that little heads-up display. Down at the bottom, you have your trunk release, as well as your lock and unlock, as well as various toggle buttons down below for your AC, recycling, hazards, traction control. Rear defrost and parking sensor activation are located back here. Power outlet. I absolutely love the sound of that aluminum clink. Full padded leather console extends all the way back up to the parcel shelf, where you have two little integrated cup holders. See a little bit more of this angle. The integrated color contrast stitching in the leather stitch dash, as well as the black veneer going up towards the windshield cowl, and the leather accenting trim stitching coming down the center console, flowing all the way in. As far as the navigation system, you have a little toggle button here for left, right, up and down, clicking down for actions, as well as enter, back buttons for the different menus. Now these older navigation systems are a little bit primitive. The newer Astons have a more updated Garmin unit. While on the main map screen, if you hit back a couple times, it'll bring up your destination input, setting your destination, points of interest, address book, choosing from your current position, navigation settings, as well as shutting down the system if you didn't want that big screen kind of blocking your view of that beautiful veneer. But those are the basic essential functions of the navigation system in the DB9. Now as far as the steering wheel, down below on the right you have your cruise control, and on the left you have your radio volume as well as hands-free telephone controls with a voice dialing system.
Setup menu. Please say a command.
Help.
Setup menu. You can say pair phone, list phones, remove all phones, prompts, and call announce. You can also say remove phone or connect phone followed by the number.
Cancel.
Goodbye.
The British accent in the voice definitely suits the vehicle. Probably one of the more beautiful things about the center stack in the DB9 is its aluminum accented gauge cluster. Non-traditional gauges kind of swing out. Tachometer going counterclockwise. You also have a little digital speed readout and trip computer, but it also is pretty much your driver information system activated on the little stalk here where the turn signal is. Your fuel, instantaneous miles per gallon. Pretty simple. Beautiful execution. And we're going to shut her down. So let's go and check out the back seat. It is a 2+2 vehicle, but once you activate this little electronic release, fold it up, there's not too much usable space for people. Mostly for storage and or appearance. What's nice though is the leather trim coming up from the center console actually blends nicely into the parcel shelf. Polished aluminum seat belt holders, also the perforated leather, as well as an aluminum speaker grille mounted up front and center. There's also little accent reading lamps and coat hooks in the back. And we're going to check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we? The DB9 is definitely not something that you would call a practical traveling vehicle. With a trunk space measuring about 6.6 cubic feet, it's just enough for a couple everyday items, bags, things like that. It's lined in plush carpet, comes with a standard umbrella and lit by two lights on each side, accented by aluminum. Definitely gives a nice refined feel to kind of match the interior, but it's definitely more so style over function. The passenger seat features the same power adjustments that you find on the driver's seat. You see your leather stitching kind of wrapping around the airbag cover here. Electronically actuated glove box with a modest amount of storage space, as well as a similar visor over here. The Aston Martin DB9 is an absolutely beautiful and stunning vehicle, the quintessential definition of being an Aston Martin, pure style and elegance with raw power underneath. Definitely a historical vehicle for Aston in the future, for setting the stage for everything they had planned in the upcoming years. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at the 2007 Aston Martin DB9 Mansory. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.